Thank you, Tolu. Agriculture in Nigeria is fast regaining its prime attention, especially among young people. John Akerele is a farmer whose influence and interest we want to share on the program today. John, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me how your interest in farming developed.
Well, when you look at the rate of unemployment in Nigeria, it's alarming and discouraging. And looking at history book, we see that agriculture happens to be the highest sector that employed young people and even generally in Nigeria. And that was what caught my fancy, that if actually we are really serious about unemployment in Nigeria, then we need to go back to our origin, and that's agriculture. Okay,
so you think that it is now time for young people to play in this sector?
Yes, because we are young, we are vibrant, we are energetic, and that is what is needed even on the farmland. And so, as young people, this is the best time for us even to venture into agriculture.
Agriculture is a very wide, area.
Yeah.
So, which area of it do you play?
Particularly, I'm into plantain plantation.
Okay,
yes.
That means what?
It means a plantation where you have plantain, and we have this species of plantain which is called the elephant giant species, which is the Yorubas call it ogede agbagba. That's the one used for your boli. Okay. People in Port Harcourt to actually understand this better. All right. And then the people actually consume that a lot, and that is what actually caught my fancy. Why? Because it is not really capital intensive for you to kickstart such a venture. And then it is lucrative. At the same time, you are creating job opportunities for young people, and at the same time also you are employing people, and then you are making the society to be balanced by giving people food to eat, even as young people.
What do you mean by that it is not capital intensive? When so many people have been talking that it's difficult to go into agriculture, it needs loans, it needs a lot of capital. You say it's not intensive.
Yes, it's because it's what I've tried. It's tried and it's tested, and so I can speak from my own personal experience. Okay. When I say it's not capital intensive, with at least 350,000 naira, you can have an acre of land with your plantain, and then with that, you have about 1,000 bunches of plantain, and that is a starting point for you. And so that's why I said it's not really capital intensive. 350,000 naira is something that...
For how long have you been in this business now?
Almost 4 years now.
And what has been the result?
It's been awesome. At the same time, it's been challenging. But then, just like David, we have decided to encourage ourselves and say no matter the storm, no matter the difficulty that comes along it, we'll still have to pull through.
Let's talk about challenges that you face in agriculture too.
Part of the challenges is governmental policies.
What do you mean?
It will shock you that we hear of so many governmental policies on media. They are just mouth play and lip services. And this, even when they are disbursement of funds, it will shock you that this disbursement of funds does not really get to the core people who actually practice agriculture and won't get these funds. And so, even despite that, we have said we will not still go ahead. Like the one I started, there was no aid from the government or any sort for my starting, and even till now, nothing of such has even come to me to even say, we see what you're doing and we want to encourage you, so that even other young people can be encouraged. It will amaze you. Apart from that, another thing is education. By virtue of certification, I'm a microbiologist by degree, and also I have another specialty in agricultural microbiology, which gives me a background even to venture into agriculture. Do you understand? So these are some of the things that our government should look beyond lip services and see how they can give these funds and aids to the people who are actually players, even in the agricultural sector. Okay,
let's come back to the business. John, where is your farm located?
It's in Odogbolu, in Ogun State.
Ogun State?
Yes, Odogbolu, in Ogun State.
How big is the land space that the farm covers?
Presently, we have about 4 acres of plantation.
4 acres? Okay, that's not so big. Okay, there is something to start with. Okay.
Even as a young man, it's not so big, but then we are looking at expansion, and that's why we say if we get the necessary financial aid from the government of today, then there's nothing stopping us from going to as far as 100 acres of plantain plantation.
You do only plantain?
Yes, specifically plantain, and it's because I don't want to have issues. Okay. Do you understand? It's better for you to stick on one and make sure that you are a good person even in that field you have chosen for yourself, rather than you going to different sectors.
Talk about the market for plantain. I mean,
the market is huge. The market is huge. It's huge. In
How huge?
Very, very huge. Okay, now let's look at the consumption rate of plantain that we're talking about. Now it can be consumed, and it helps you to reduce the sugar in your body system. In Port Harcourt, it's highly consumed because they take it as part of their food for boli. In Lagos here, most of our fast foods, you have yorudo being fried. And so all these are from plantain. You go on the streets of Lagos and everywhere in Nigeria, you see plantain chips. And all of these are what we use plantain to make. And so with that, that tells you that no matter how big or small your farm is, you can still tap into this huge market and make something good for yourself.
Okay, let's talk about how plantation is developed. You know, enlighten somebody like you who wants to join you in the business. How do you start?
It's very simple. Get a land for yourself. After that, prepare your land. After preparing your land, make sure you go to IITA and get good hybrid suckers that can be good for planting. After that, invite somebody who will help you to do your soil analysis to make sure that the soil where you are planting is also fit for the planting. And thereafter, you go ahead with your weeding and pruning. And then after 10 to 12 months, harvest is ready. Take it to the market, make your sales, and then smile home, even as a young man.
So in a year now, how much do you think you've made as profits from the business?
The profit is huge. But then this is what I can say. Let's take, for instance, if you are taking one acre of land and then in a year, if the market is not that good, that means that, let's say a bunch of plantain goes for a 500 naira, you can have a profit of about 120, 150,000 aside from your initial capital investment. But then when the market is sweet and you can sell a bunch of 650, you are going on with over 260,000 naira smiling to the bank.
Now you are talking about selling within Nigeria. That's the local market.
Yes.
Do you foresee, taking it outside the country to earn foreign exchange?
If we're looking at taking it outside for the country, then more people need to come on board. The government needs to make the ground very palatable and convenient for people to actually thrive.
So then you would be operating
when
as
we have
a
more
group.
people, we can now satisfy the need of Nigeria as a country and thereby looking at taking it outside the shores of Nigeria. Then we can earn some foreign exchange for ourselves and then help the economy to stand back again.
John, thank you very much. Let's end it there.
It's a pleasure.
John Akerele is is a young farmer and he operates from Odogbolu, Ogun State. Back to you, Tolu.